Hey everyone, I'm Nate.
And I'm Abby.
We're the RC Sailors and we're at the airfield today to test a GPS drone by MJX. This is the MJX Bugs 3 Pro. MJX Bugs 3 Pro. I didn't know, I couldn't remember if they called it the MJX Bugs 3 GPS, but it's the MJX Bugs 3 Pro. Just a couple days ago, we did the MJX Bugs 8 Pro, and it was really awesome for what it was. I highly recommend you check that video out if you missed it. This is basically just an upgraded version of the Bugs 3. We have always loved the Bugs 3. For the price, it's one of the best drones you can get, especially if you're a beginner and you just want something a little nicer than brushed motors. You want to go brushless, it's a very good upgrade. You guys can probably hear that wind right now. I'm kind of happy about that in this case because we're going to be able to really put that GPS to the test. Now, this really is what you're paying for. It should be around $160, $170 to have the brushless motors and a GPS. You have a camera mount on the bottom, but the version we're talking about has no camera. So today's video is actually kind of a 2 for the price of 1. We're going to be testing a new action camera that I picked up as well. So we'll take a look at that very briefly, maybe what comes with it. But we're just going to mount it in here. We'll do our calibration like any other GPS drone, and it's going to just be flying line of sight. There's no FPV. It's just slap whatever camera you have or are going to get on here and record that way. So it comes with the legs off and the props off. You have to install those. It was very easy to do. 2 screws on each leg. This little guy down here just snaps on with a little lever. It comes off very easily if you don't want to fly with a camera. This would basically be if you are afraid to maybe fly the regular Bugs 3 standard or even the Bugs 3H with altitude hold. Now you have an option to fly with a GPS. So if you don't want to break the bank, but you really want to have the best training wheels possible, I think that's who this might be marketed toward. You also just so happen to be able to slap a GoPro on the bottom of that drone. Here's the included transmitter. It is nice because we have a little bit of telemetry on screen. It tells us our height, distance, transmitter battery, receiver battery, so a little bit of telemetry. We also have the ability to turn on headless mode. GPS can be turned on or off, unlock and lock the motors, and auto takeoff and auto land. 4 spare props, a prop removing and installation tool, very handy. It just kind of locks in there as you tighten the props or take them off. Phillips screwdriver, a couple extra screws. There are 3 rubber grommets underneath the drone here that will do their best to also help dampen vibrations. Here's our charger. Now it comes with a European plug, at least the version we got. So we get these little converters on Amazon, just to US. And I don't like this. I really truly do not like this. It just seems a little excessive and unnecessary. We do have a nice long cord here. It's all bundled up, but that's a nice long cord to the wall adapter. But then you have the little converter. You have to go right to the little charger that has a 2-cell balance port. But the battery's so proprietary, they made this plug into the balancer and then your battery plugs into that. So here we have a 2800 7.4 volt LiPo battery with a very proprietary shelling around that. This is one of the first times I've seen MJX and the Bugs series use such a proprietary connector. Most of their drones that I have seen use an XT30 connector, which is nice because you can buy off-brand batteries and pop them in there, or at least convert them. This has such a proprietary connection, they went as far as to make a proprietary charge thing for it, and then it pops in here. Now maybe you need that with a GPS drone, at the risk of your battery popping out. I don't think so. It does seem secure. There's no on-off switch. I don't like that. Turns on as soon as you plug the battery in. So I'm not a fan of the battery. Though MJX and their Bugs series is fairly reasonably priced, and they do have spare batteries and parts readily available. So keep that in mind. It's not like you can't buy more batteries.
Would the other Bugs 3 batteries fit in that?
No, because Abby had a very good question about the other Bugs batteries. I mean, they would physically fit in here, but the connector on here, it's like 8 little prongs.
That's a
8
bummer.
little prongs.
So they made it completely different from
Completely proprietary. So really, is it a Bugs 3 Pro? If you ask me, no. It's a Bugs 3 GPS. It's just a Bugs GPS. I don't know. I think there's too much different about this because of the battery and stuff.
I don't even think it looks like the Bugs.
It doesn't really. It kind of looks like a Bantam. A Bugs mixed with a Phantom. You got the gold stripes on the arms, you know, it's white. That's kind of like, I don't know. I love MJX and the Bugs series, but I really don't like what they're doing with the proprietary battery setup. I told you guys this would be kind of a 2 for the price of 1 video, so we're gonna show you a new camera, a new action camera that we came by. On my action cameras get beat up pretty fast because I put them on the front of my race drones, so I'm always on the lookout for a decently priced action cam that I can slap in a drone because it's probably going to get beat up. So this is called the Eken H9R, or Eken maybe H9R. We'll have it linked in the description box below. It should fit perfectly in the Bugs 3 Pro. It should also fit in any casing that a GoPro would fit in, and it comes in around $70. Shoots in 4K, but in this case we're going to shoot in 1080p at 60 frames per second. So very quickly we'll show you what comes in the box. I'm not going to get too hung up on this because it's becoming fairly standardized now. What we're really interested in is to see how well this shoots. And as you can see, just a ton of various parts and accessories, from different mounting brackets to different, we have a wireless remote, a spare battery, we have a waterproof case, instructions, USB charge cable, a lot of stuff. You can see here, even a little tripod. This is kind of the most unique thing I saw that it came with. I like that a lot. Let's fly. I'm going to tell you guys this because it got me. It always does. The MJX Bugs series, most of the time, only like one time I did not have to do this, and that was the Bugs 8 Pro just the other day. You have to, when the first time you use it, turn the transmitter on first while holding the lock button. Hold that lock button, transmitter on. Then plug in your drone and release the lock button, and now you're bound. I tried to calibrate it like 1,000 times before I realized the drone isn't even bound to the transmitter. So make sure you do that, and then the calibration process was very easy. Do exactly what it says in the book. It worked perfectly.
And just keep in mind, the video that you're going to be seeing is our action camera. It has nothing to do with what came with this drone
That's
setup.
exactly right. So what I just did, I'm going to let it hover a little. Okay, I'll get it up in the blue sky for Abby because of the camera, for you guys too. I pressed the lock button. It was actually an unlock. And then I pressed auto takeoff. It hovered right at the tree line there. And then I flew up just to get it into that blue sky so you guys and Abby can see it. Because let me just show you one time, only time, Abby, when we go into the white cloud.
The action camera helps, but it's still hard.
For me, I can see it just fine, but on Abby's tiny little 2-inch screen, it's very hard for her to see it. So I'm going to just come back over. What I want this to do right now, while testing a GPS drone for the first time like this, I like to just let it hover. See if it has a mind of its own. Right now, that little drop that it did was all it. I do have it in GPS mode. The barometer is what's supposed to maintain the altitude, and so far I'm just going down a lot. So that, it's not off to a great start. Not off to a really great start. Keep in mind, there's no downward facing camera on this for visual positioning. So it's only relying on those satellites and the GPS lock to maintain its position and the barometer.
If you think the action camera looks good, we haven't seen it yet.
This is our first time using it.
Yeah, it'll be linked in the description box below so you can check it out.
And I'm excited to see this footage because this may end up being my next action cam that I use on my personal race drone for chase footage. So that's a big reason why I'm testing this. And if you, just what Abby said, if you think it looks good, snatch it up because it was a good deal. That's why we grabbed one. Okay, let's fly a little higher. I trust it. I trust it enough to fly a little higher. I can see the telemetry on my transmitter showing my signal strength, my transmitter battery, my receiver battery. That's all good that's there. And we're kind of timing that flight, right, Abby? Mm-hmm. Now I think the meters and height, I think the height and distance are in meters. But I'll tell you what I have. Distance says 122. I would assume that's meters. I don't think that's feet, because that would be much closer. It's out there. I can see it. I see the action cam more than the drone. I'll turn around and face us. Hopefully. It's gonna be hard to do. I think we're facing us. I think. And then my height is 50. So I would assume that's about 150, 160 or so feet. Maybe, roughly there, 170. And it's 50 meters. There's no way that's 50 feet high. It'd be a lot lower. So I'm flying back toward us.
Like this big on my screen.
That is full speed ahead, up high. There, I'm off to the left there, Abby. Right there, in the blue.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You still don't see it?
No.
I'll come down. That's okay. We got the GoPro. Well, not a GoPro, a no-pro, for a reason. There, I'm now in the big white puffy cloud. Coming down below that big circular cloud. You see it now?
Yeah.
So the good thing about this drone is I do actually trust it, so far, to fly higher and farther than I would a toy grade drone. As I should. The price is there. It's like a $170 drone. I get excited when MJX Bugs series drones come out. The only time they've ever really let me down is the Bugs 6 and 8, the originals. The Bugs 8 Pro was a pretty good redemption. Let's fly in a little closer and see how this action camera looks with the bugs. Are we getting some jello? If I at least hold still. Oops, sorry. That's full down, by the way. Nice and slow descent. Are we getting any jello looking at us? Let's do a droney shot. We'll fly away some. Get kind of a nice droney shot. How's the jello holding up? I didn't have room for any foam padding, so I just went with the action cam in the casing. I did not put any padding in there.
So is this gonna fly as agile as the Bugs 3? The original?
No.
Is that just because of the GPS?
Yes. I really don't like the fact that they called this the Bugs 3 Pro. I really don't like that at all, because I don't feel like this is a Bugs 3 at all.
I feel like the Bugs 2 will look more like the Bugs 2 Pro, is that right? B2, no, like, the B2W and stuff.
This almost looks like a throwback to me. It's kind of blocky, clunky looking. It looks like a throwback. Let's call this the Bugs 1 Pro. Where was the Bugs 1 anyway?
And 2.
Well, the 2 was the GPS.
Yeah, but that came after the 3.
Yeah, they're so out of order. I don't get that at all.
Don't understand.
Bugs 3 Pro. I don't get the naming on it at all. I don't feel like this is, I feel like the Bugs 3 is more of a pro drone than this. This should be called the Bugs 3, and the Bugs 3 should be called the Bugs 3 Pro, because you have to be a better pilot to fly that than to fly this, right?
I think they're trying to say it's the drone itself is more stable, so you can get professional shots with it.
Yeah.
But you know, there's no gimbal on there, so you're gonna get jello. You're gonna get vibrations and
shaking from the wind.
Yeah, and like if the drone tilts some, your camera's gonna tilt. The gimbal's not gonna be there to adjust it.
Oh, thank you. There's like a yellow jacket
trying to get up your pants.
Go away, yellow jacket. No. Please don't sting me, but also, you are not welcome up my shorts. No, thank you. Okay, let's try. We can turn off the GPS and just fly with the barometer. So, GPS is now off. So the wind should start to take us away, and it is. You throw the little switch under your throttle. Okay, now we just have a barometer. Can we fly faster this way? No, don't think so.
The rates?
There are no rates. So I want to turn the GPS back on because this is a GPS drone. I prefer it that way. But I'm showing you the drifting that you see now is from the wind. Now when we turn on the GPS, it should lock us right in. So in case you're very new, and most of you probably watching this most likely are, we have some professional pilots on our channel. That's what a GPS does. It locks you in, keeping you from drifting away in the wind. If you're a beginner, it comes in very handy. Now we also have headless mode. Headless mode basically means it doesn't matter which way the drone is pointing. If you push away on the right stick, it'll go away. So let's turn headless mode on. It should work really well on this drone. So I'm going to face it to the left. We'll do the back left corner. So now the drone is facing to my back left corner. When I push away, it should go away, and it does. When I push right, or left rather, if I would learn my own directions, it goes left. When I push right, it's going to go to the right. Even though the drone is facing to the back left corner, I'm going to give it some, trying to give it some elevation. Oh, no, batteries may be dying.
You didn't get to test return to home.
No. I don't know why. It just wouldn't climb for a second. It kind of, I think the hill threw it off because
Really?
it went over the edge of Death Valley. And it seemed like it wanted to go down some.
It was trying to stick with the altitude. That
I think so, yeah. Okay, we still have battery. I'm going to do full rotation.
You actually have an indicator on your screen, by the
still
way.
more than half. So I'm going to, look, I'm doing full rotation, driving everyone, making them dizzy, and I'm going to go to the right while rotating.
So this is still headless mode.
Yes, now I'm coming back. I want to give you guys a closer shot of that so you can really see how we're testing that headless mode. I'm giving it full rotation this whole time. Might even take the FPV shot off of there so I don't make everyone dizzy. But look at that. As it rotates, I can maintain a steady direction. If you had to do that manually with the controls, that'd be very hard to do. In fact, I don't think I can do that. So that's cool. It works. It works really, really well. I'm happy with that. Let's turn that off though. And well, yeah, let's do return to home. So Abby, I'm gonna fly it kind of far out, about as far as I can see comfortably. Everyone always says, how far can it go? How high can it go? I always say never fly it farther than you can see for safety reasons. But I can still see it. I'm maintaining line of sight. I'm not cutting away at all. The drone has disappeared, but my black action cam is still in line of sight. Okay, now, I still see it no problem. So we're giving a really good range test here. Do you see it, Abby? Mm-hmm. Under that little white cloud there? Just pushing that little black dot away.
I don't see it on the camera, but
it's gone on the camera. I'd say that's good enough.
No, I can't see it.
I can actually see the drone. I am going to press.
I just saw a big reflection of it.
Yeah, I can see the drone now. You know what? Let's see if I can. I want to do my best to. I think it's facing us now. I might be wrong, but I'm going to press and hold return to home. Giving it a second. Okay, I released it. You might just have to press it. I held it for a few seconds, but I think you just have to press it. So it's coming back. All of the movement right now
it's going up.
Is on its own. I think it's just coming back pretty fast.
Okay.
Totally on its own. I'm not touching these controls one bit. We're gonna see how it does. And I think they did a pretty good job facing it back toward us, by the way.
Unless it rotated itself.
You know, it's nice to see, I think it's just thinking for a second before it descends. It should descend any second now.
Finish your thought.
It's nice to see MJX doing quality products like brushless motors with a GPS. But you know what I'd really like to see them do? They might be one of the best possible contenders for DJI.
I don't know why they haven't gotten the gimbal game yet.
Why haven't they? Guys, MJX could be that company, even if they're 2 generations behind DJI. As long as they could be competitive on the pricing, they could probably keep up with DJI. Let's see an is this the Phantom 1? Is that what they're finally doing here?
Maybe.
Possibly. So that was totally on the drone. Abby, I think you should just give it a shot. Okay. I'll take over the camera. You fly the drone. Abby's at the controls now. You see it's facing at our back right. You have to unlock the motors and then you can do your takeoff. Yeah, you got it.
I got this. I read the instruction manual.
Everything is labeled on the transmitter, which is awesome. You're not in headless mode, you are in GPS mode.
There's no rates.
No rates?
So I see on the transmitter a camera button and stuff. I wonder, is there a version, I'm guessing, with a built-in camera?
It's possible.
There's also a little knob that is locked.
Like it could have a gimbal to roll up and down.
Yeah, at least to point up and down. Maybe not a gimbal, but just the ability to point the camera where you want. It's interesting.
It is. I'm pulling for MJX. Anytime they put out a new product, I get pretty excited because they don't tend to let us down too bad. Really, the only major time I've been let down is the Bugs 6 and 8, but a lot of people got those drones and were not disappointed. But the same issue happened to both of ours, the 6 and the 8. Exact same issue, and I just found that to be too odd. Every other product from them has been just rock solid. I love the Bugs 8 Pro. The Bugs 3 is one of my favorite budget brushless drones. And now, and even the Bugs 3H with altitude hold, now you have the Bugs 3 with a GPS, the Bugs 3 Pro. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. There's a couple things that I don't like about it. It's not a perfect drone, but I think it works really well. Now that you're at the controls, Abby, what do you think? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's a low battery beep, probably.
But it still shows half battery on.
Well, you want to keep flying a little bit and just maybe see how long we can fly with a...
No, I don't want to hurt the battery.
Okay.
I was just going to fly close to you for a minute.
Okay, so people can see it in the air?
Yeah.
So the beeping that you're hearing is telling us that the battery is low. We do have lights on there, although they're hard to see right now. It's very, very bright out. Let me see if I can darken this up a hair. Still hard to see them.
Yeah.
Still hard to see them. Picked a bright day to be out here. Little telemetry on screen.
Okay, I'm gonna return to home.
Okay.
I love that all the buttons are labeled.
Oh, me too.
And actually an indicator comes up on the LCD screen that shows that it's returning to home too.
Cool.
So it has the height, the distance, and it shows that sort of thing, the modes it's in. And you're supposed to easily be able to switch this between mode 1 and mode 2.
Oh, good to know.
I think I saw that instructions. Don't quote me, but I think I saw that. I just skipped over it because I didn't need to know that.
It definitely chooses to hover above its home spot for about 10 seconds or so. And I think we got about a 14 to 15 minute flight time.
Cool.
So even though it has a proprietary battery, the good flight time, as long as they don't charge $100 per battery like DJI does, that's not bad. Mm-mm. That's not bad. At first I kind of wanted to dislike this drone because of the proprietary battery, the weird charging system, which isn't great. They could have done a little better, let's be honest. And I was struggling to calibrate that compass for the GPS and the satellite stuff to work. But I figured it out. That was my fault. So I have to let that go because I'm a dummy sometimes. Abby's laughing. It's a good drone. I think it's for a person that already has invested in a GoPro or an action cam. You already got one laying around, but you don't have a GPS drone. You're not sure if you want to get into drones, but you don't really want to mess with a $40 toy drone. Although I think you should. I think you should get a $40 toy grade drone before flying something like this. Some people will disagree. That's okay, that's your opinion. I say it's so you can learn to fly, bang up your little $40 drone, sell it for $15, put your $15 toward a battery, toward this, and then fly this and have an understanding of how these things work. You could jump right into this and just take off, no problem. You could jump right into a Mavic if you want to. That's your prerogative. But I think that there's a progression to the hobby a lot of people should take, and that would be my recommendation. So you've got your GoPro laying around. You thought you'd buy it to put it on your hat when you go bicycling, but you just don't do that. Hey, maybe I want a GPS drone, and I got the GoPro laying around. Boom, Bugs 3 Pro. That's perfect. Don't really want to go DJI because of the proprietary, mandatory firmware updates. This doesn't have that. Spin it once, tip it up, spin it again, take off, you're calibrated. It worked really well. The flight time was great at about 15 minutes. And again, if you've already got a GoPro or something lying around, don't have something like this, this could be perfect for you. If you don't have an action cam, what did you think of this one? It's been a while since we've tested an action cam for you guys. It's about time. We probably need to do a couple more in the future, but I'm excited to see how this footage turned out. You guys already know. So this might end up getting slapped on my race drone because the price point you got to find a magic number there. You got to find something that looks good enough to share with people, but you don't want to spend GoPro prices because you could smash into a metal pole with the race drone.
And also consider if there is vibrations in JELLO, that's because it's not on a gimbal. It's not because of poor camera quality.
Yeah, it could be
that has
the vibration.
Nothing to do with the camera.
Yes, I am going to actually test this camera at least one more time on the channel, so be on the lookout for that, and I'll let you guys know when we do. It'll be in the very near future, so just keep that in mind. Got a couple more things I want to share with you. The wind is picking up, things are blowing away, so I got to go catch that stuff. Guys, if you're interested, this will be linked in the description box below. The camera will be too. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.
Bye.